Welcome to the Mr. Skin Podcast, your weekly dose of what's new and what's nude in movies, TV, and Hollywood's sexiest stars. Now get ready for your host, the world's foremost authority on celebrity nudity, Mr. Skin.
The legendary Mr. Skin.
Dude, Mr. Skin.
MrSkin.com.
Skin, everybody.
Coast to coast, from Los Angeles, Chicago, and New York, it's the Mr. Skin Podcast with your hosts, Mr. Skin and Andrea Lowell. We want to hear from you. Call the show and leave us a voicemail at 484-SKIN-POD. Find all things Mr. Skin Podcast online at MrSkinPodcast.com.
Hey everyone, welcome to episode 85 of the Mr. Skin Podcast, sponsored by Camingle.xxx, the roulette cam site that helps you meet sexy women for free. Camingle.xxx combines the database of gorgeous models you're used to on cam sites with a roulette-style chat feature that helps you actually meet the ladies you're seeing stripped down. That's CAMINGLE.XXX. Yeah, baby.
Yeah, hey, Andrew, I think, roulette and cam, that's a good combination for me.
It's like if you like girls, you like gambling, you like thrill, you like uncertainty, living on the edge, win, 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 win.
Yeah, speaking of roulette, I'm actually heading to Las Vegas this evening for one day. I'm very excited. Very excited. Some friends are taking us.
Oh, that's going to be great. Awesome. Well, don't get too messed up. I hope you make it back. No hangover type situations, right?
Well, yeah, it'll be important because next week is my Anatomy Awards, so I'm going to have to be on top of my game for the Anatomy Awards.
Of course. So what's the occasion? Just wild, crazy partying or celebrating something fun?
Yeah, well, Sin City's about to turn into Skin City, Andrea.
Totally.
But a friend of mine in the town we live in has to go out there for business, and he said, let's all just go for a day. So a bunch of, married suburban people are going to go out there. But, I was just there with you a month ago, less than a month ago, even. Well, probably exactly a month ago, and for the porn convention. But we will not be staying at the Hard Rock, though I always loved my time there at ABN, but we'll be staying in another hotel. But you know what? Usually, Vegas, I'm not a big go, right back at it in a month, but I think it'll be fun. I'm looking forward to a day. I need to get out of the Chicago weather. It's a little cold, rainy, and snowy, and it'll be fun.
No, it's going to be amazing. And being there without any obligations to work is going to be so much fun. So I can't wait to hear back and find out what kind of trouble.
And I don't want to make it seem like, I know my friends always make fun of me because, listen, my big obligations for work, I had to go and interview cam girls and porn stars on the floor of the AVN show to do a podcast like that was really work. But no, you're right. I'll be able to, go see some things I didn't see. I find a lot of times when I go to Vegas, I'm at literally AVN. I do not leave the hotel for days at a time. I don't know if it's raining or whatever. So,
yeah, crazy.
Yeah, it'll be fun. But that being said, Andrea, we have a lot of nudity to get to. And, if you haven't listened to the Mr. Skin podcast before, what I like to do is go over the latest in theater nudes or television nudes for the week. And this week we even have some Olympic nudes, which I'll get to in a little while, which will be fun. But let's start out with theater nudity. And Andrea, I have a fun bag forecast for you.
Ooh,
so yes, a fun bag forecast is where I actually know about nudity. I know about nudity and the exact time of the nudity before the nudity has even happened. That's a fun bag forecast. Yeah. So what I have is there's a movie that's going to come out, I believe, March 2nd called Red Sparrow. And it's a movie starring Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah.
And J-Lo, she plays this Russian ballerina. And I was at the Skin family went to see that Black Panther at theaters, and they had the trailer for this. And she looks so freaking hot. Jennifer Lawrence does. And by the way, I got to say, she's obviously known for the Hunger Games and now basically known as the biggest, highest paid actress. Her movies have grossed the most money. She's like the the actress of this generation. So she's big time. And,
wow.
She
didn't realize.
Yeah. So anyway, she plays this Russian ballerina that's recruited to this thing they call Sparrow School. And it's a Russian intelligence service, very apropos, where she's forced to kind of use her body as a weapon.
Ooh.
And what's that? Oh, okay, nothing. I just all of a sudden started to hear music. But anyway, so even in the trailer, like I said, you could see they showed some flashes of scenes, but my Skin Scouts have already seen this, and they said, I even have the exact time. So at the 40-minute mark and the 45-minute mark, she's topless, which is supposed to be really hot scenes. But then at the 45-minute mark, she is, or no, I'm sorry, there's another nude scene at the 45-minute mark, but then at the hour and 43-minute mark, she's being tortured she's completely nude, and it's like some sort of in CIA type torture, but she's completely nude. So it's interesting about her because I used to get asked about Jennifer Lawrence a lot, obviously since the Hunger Game movies, but in the last year, she did the movie Mother, which was a fantastic movie and was topless in that. I didn't dig the kaleidoscope thing they did too much, but she was topless in that. And then now in Red Sparrow. So in the course of 1 year, one of the most famous actresses in the world has made her nude debut and has been naked twice. So that's good news. And a lot of people will say to me, hey, when an actress is probably more likely to do nudity before they're famous. And I agree, that's usually the case. But also, a lot of these actresses that are great actresses like Jennifer Lawrence sometimes say, you know what, this role is so good, and I'm gonna own it, and I'm gonna get naked, and she's done so. So very cool. Very cool.
And Jennifer Lawrence, I was never like any sort of big fan of hers, but I watched the trailer for this Red Sparrow, and she is looking hot, like all these little different, it's very much like the Americans, you know what I mean? Like Carrie Russell and all these different, kind of disguises as a Russian spy. This is like that next level. And Jennifer Lawrence has an incredible body. Anytime we can even see cleavage, let alone, a full boob, it's a winning experience, but she looks the best I've ever seen her. In this trailer. So I'm super excited to see this movie, and wow, it's going to be incredible.
Yeah. And, it's the other thing too, is that when a movie gets good reviews and has good nudity,
yes,
I'm all in. So Red Sparrow coming to theaters March 2nd. Don't get popcorn at the 45-minute mark or hour and 43-minute mark, because you don't want to miss those. So maybe
just put a hole in the popcorn, right?
Yeah, a good diner reference. Good diner reference. The other thing, okay. Also, before I forget, because I forget every week, we get phone calls on what's our skin line? I don't even know what it is.
It's 484 Skin Pod, where listeners can call in and they can leave questions or comments, anything they want pertaining to nudity or asking Skin, anything of his area of expertise. And are you saying we have one today?
Yeah, well, there's one I wanted to get to. We'll get to some others later on, but this guy had a nice one, and it was an actress or a girl I've never been asked before. So, CP, could you play that call?
Hello, my name is Thomas Chappell, and I love the job Mr. Skin and Andrea is doing. I just wanted to say, remember the movie that Shelly Martinez was in? She's a professional wrestler. Porn Shoot Massacre. Would love to hear some more about her. Thank you.
Well, like I said, that's a great question, Andrea. I've never been asked this
I've never even heard of this person.
Right. Well, we know about her, and I got to tell you, if you go to our website and check her out, you will see a beautiful Hispanic wrestler who's really more of a wrestler than an actress, but she's crossed over into the acting world and did a bunch of like Skinamax movies. But what she's known for is her gigantic boobs, and she's really hot, and she's done some really nice nudity. I'd go Co-Ed Confidential or American Pinups Volume 2 for that caller, if I was going to rank my favorites. But Co-Ed Confidential is a really fun, like B movie Skinamax type thing. But American Pinups Volume 2 is also good. But Andrea, she's a just this beautiful Mexican American actress who has these enormous boobs and is also a real life wrestler.
Oh, wow.
I think she was in the Empire Wrestling Federation, if I remember correct. But you'd like her, fun. And like I said, I've never been asked that before, so I had to give that guy some props for calling in about that.
Well, for sure. I'm on MrSkin.com right now, and I just pulled her up. And yeah, she's got a real sexiness to her. And I'm wondering how big those bombs are.
Yeah, I don't have the exact numbers, but they're
gargantuan.
Yeah, I know. They're crazy. I don't know how you could even wrestle with those. It's like
I don't know how you could sleep with those. Not like fuck with those. Obviously, we know how to do that. I mean, like sleep on her side or her stomach.
Right.
But it's like
I don't know how you do it.
If guys are fans of those, we call them at Playboy chest balloons, where it's like, the really high profile boobs. You're going to love Shelly Martinez.
Yeah, so she obviously it was easy for her to pin her opponents with those, so it's kind of an unfair advantage. But anyway, great question.
And keep them coming. 484 Skin Pod. We love hearing from you guys, and we'll try to get to them more often. Yeah?
Okay. So also now we always have a lot of TV stuff, and there was some interesting things that have happened in the last week. First of all, I did want to mention, because I hadn't seen this, it just started. There's a show called Collateral on the BBC. And Andrea, we track not only American television, but our Skid International division is always looking for nudity around the world.
Yeah.
And, this show caught our attention because Carey Mulligan, who was nominated for an Oscar, also was nude in the movie Shame. She stars in this. It's this new miniseries on the BBC Two. They do, I think it's going to be 4 episodes that take place over the course of 4 days, and it follows the political intrigue resulting from a murder of a Syrian refugee. And, this Kim Metcalf plays Suki in the first episode. She's the girlfriend of a member of parliament, and she gets out of bed. We get some boobage. So we will be tracking this show Collateral on the BBC, and I'll probably have a lot more, UK show miniseries, girls that have been naked before. We should have some good stuff, but they're only 1 episode in, so they have 3 more to go. So I'll keep you posted on that.
Sounds good.
But the other big TV thing I wanted to mention is they released The Deuce season 1 on Blu-ray.
Cool.
And it was interesting because, and next week when I do my Anatomy Awards, we're going to be talking about the best TV show for nudity, but I'll give it away because I've been talking about it all year. Is the best TV show in 2017 for nudity, without question, was The Deuce. And there were a couple things to consider, though. Westworld did not air in 2017. Remember, it had the year
horrible.
off.
Yeah.
Well, these shows, you know what? A show like Game of Thrones or Westworld, or now this Altered Carbon from Netflix, they're such massive productions. You just can't churn that out every year. It also builds anticipation, Andrea. So
it does.
Anyway,
I'm just bummed about it.
Well, okay, so no Westworld, no Altered Carbon, but we had The Deuce. And my guys, when we were talking about this, from David Simon from The Wire about the early 70s Times Squares, the rise of the porn industry in New York City in the early 70s, here's a couple factors about a couple great things about The Deuce. Every single episode, the first season, had multiple great nude scenes. Every single episode, which doesn't usually happen.
That's right, yeah.
And we counted 15 different actresses that we could ID, not counting anonymous background babes. 15 actresses were nude in the first season. So I dig The Deuce. I just really, I like the show, and without question was the best TV show for nudity. So it's out on Blu-ray this week, or Spew-Ray if you watch it, because it really is a great show for nudity, and a good show too. And check it out. That's brand new on Blu-ray.
Yeah, and just the variety of actresses you get on that show, and because the the premise of the show, all these cute little different outfits they're wearing. Yeah, it's good. It's good. Right on.
Yeah, no question. And it's also a show that we will see a lot of Merkins.
That's
a lot
right.
of Merkins.
That's
yeah,
right.
because I mean, it's just you can't do a 70s porn New York City without Merkins.
And now it's time for our Camstar Spotlight of the Week. And Skin, can you stop staring at her tits? I have Kimmy Kaboom here. Hi, gorgeous.
How's it going?
Well, since it's obvious that you have an amazing rack, tell us about those puppies. Tell me everything I need to know.
They're all mine.
Those are real.
Yes.
42H. They won a few awards. So, yeah. So
Take us through the awards. What awards have H Titties won?
yeah. Well, I won back-to-back at the Biggie Awards. Sorry, I had to get the cock to my mouth. I'm sorry, Mike. Tomato. But yeah, I won back-to-back Biggie Awards for Best Boobs. So I did that, and I've been nominated a few times for my tatas. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
Which, by the way, you were nice enough to sit here with just little tiny pasties.
Teeny weeny
Well,
girl.
I have really big areolas, so it's really hard to.
Yeah, because you
Yeah.
gotta. The rules, no areolas, right?
But let's be real, like her areolas, relatively speaking, are
Yes.
not big. Like your boobs are gargantuan.
Yes.
I mean, they're amazing. Can I touch them? I know we signed no groping thing, but if I have consent, oh my God.
But as long as you ask
jealous.
permission,
Can I touch you?
They are heavy.
feel the vibe.
They are heavy and dense, just like you like.
They're like
I'm very
pillows.
dense. I don't know if you know that about me, but I also love that kind of breast.
Now,
so.
you've been nominated for a bunch of stuff, and you actually won some great things, too. So tell us, I know the BBW Awards are a new thing. Tell us about what you've won and the nominations, because that's insane.
I had I was very pleased to announce I had like 9 or 10 award nominations.
That's
and
awesome.
I won for solo site for my KimmyKaboom.com.
That's great.
Plug. But yeah, we won for that, and I just did it the other night. I presented the Male Talent Award, and my
That's
dress
great.
broke, my tits fell out.
I was
It's
going
an
to say,
awesome thing.
when I hear presenter, I think, gorgeous ball gown or this
Right.
or that. But where does someone with titties like that even get a dress whose straps are working?
Well, it's funny because I found this awesome sequin dress. It was just awesome.
Yeah.
Tits hung well, and it had like one little bitty chain that held it together. And as soon
That
as I
ain't
got
gonna
ready,
work.
as soon as I got ready to call it on the stage to do the presentation for the Male Talent Award, it snapped. And I'm like, fuck it, I'm a professional. Let me just go ahead and roll on up there. So like a
Bravo,
boss, I
girl.
went up there and presented the Male Talent Award like a champion, and she rolled with it.
Now let's talk about StreamMate a little bit, because camming is everything, and I know you have so many fans that love you so much. With boobs like that, do you feel everyone just wants to talk about your titties all the time? Have you play with your titties all the time, or do your fans like other stuff too? Because if I was in your
that's a
room,
good question.
or if I took her exclusive, I'd be like, titty time.
Right.
We have a lot of titty play. I'm a bit dominant, so I
Get
like
it, girl.
telling people what to do. But yeah, I do that. But we also do other things. I mean, I have a very, very beautiful petite pussy. Everyone loves to see.
Tell us all about it, girl. Paint the picture.
I also do hardcore porn, so therefore, Mama's got it going on. So, but no, but we do lots of things, and there's lots of unique fetishes out there.
Yes, we've been hearing.
And it's when I first got on the scene, there was guys wanting me to burp and flex my tits, and I'm like, what the fuck? But it's awesome. I'm making lots of money doing it, and camming is an awesome. I've been with StreamMates from the beginning.
That's beautiful.
They're a great company to work with. I have lots of fun with them, and I can't. And Vanessa, she's always running around here doing some stuff. Christoph does a lot of great stuff for me, and they give me some promo pictures and stuff. Good stuff. I like these people.
That's wonderful. Now, when you talk about doing stuff with your boobs, flexing your boobs, oh my, see,
I know. I didn't believe that you could flex your boobs like that with the
can't.
size they are and being real.
now, I was going to say, the only time I've ever seen titties bounce like that, like literally move up and down, is when there's fake boobs
Right.
over or under the muscle or something.
Or they're having sex. But
How the hell do you cultivate that skill? Do you have to practice in front of a mirror, or were you born with it?
I've definitely collected. Like I said, I didn't even know it was a thing until I started camming.
Kugels, like Kugels.
Yes,
Kugels.
yes.
I didn't know it was a thing, and then as more I did, I actually have guys who literally pay me to go to exclusive and just literally do this.
Now I gotta say, your tits must weigh. So I'm gonna touch you again. Oh my fucking god, 12.5 pounds each.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah, they're pretty heavy.
For your pectoral muscles to be lifting those repeatedly, you've got some strong ass pecs, girl. Like I bet this girl could bench you.
Yes, I would love to be the bench. Yeah.
Well, you are amazing. You have a killer body, but an even better personality. You are doing such big things, not only on StreamMate, but in the entire world of adult. And it was such an honor to chat with you. Now, I want to ask you real quick before we let you go. What celebrity do people tell you look like?
Shit. Well, with my clothes on, I get a lot of the whole. Back in the day, it was a lot of the Demi Moore.
Oh, okay.
You know, but you know, I'm getting older now, so I don't know. I really they just look at my they look at my titties. You know, they don't really focus on anything else. You know, it's like
Dolly Parton. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, Dolly
Who
Parton.
do they say your titties look like? Well,
yeah.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you for joining us on the Mr. Skin podcast. Have a good one.
Thanks.
Andrea,
Yes.
let's talk about today's sponsor, CamMingle.xxx.
Totally. So CamMingle.xxx is sort of like a cam site crossed with chat roulette, if you guys remember that site. So CamMingle.xxx, they have a huge database of amazing models, but you're able to sift through them at random roulette style. And just like chat roulette, you're easily able to have one-on-one chats with the models and really get to know them. There are hundreds of performers from all different backgrounds, ages, ethnicities. So there's absolutely someone for everyone. And this is the cool part. Sign up is totally free. So there are no risks here. So I want everyone to try it out for themselves. Check out Cammingle.xxx. Again, that's CamIngle.xxx. Cammingle.xxx. If I could spell, that'd be great.
No, that's great. And thank you, new sponsor, CamMingle.xxx. I'm going to definitely check it out. And like I said, man, I'm in a roulette state of mind on my way to Vegas tonight. So looking forward to that.
Excellent. So I love that. I hope you win big, baby.
Well, yeah, I just hope. Well, I'll be with my wife, so I hope other things happen.
The
I hope I win big
roulette,
in the bedroom.
Though,
Yeah.
you but like when it's roulette, you can just run down to the table real quick, do it, and leave. Like,
Yep.
it's not like you're
it's gonna be
committed
fun.
to like, a Texas Hold'em tournament that's going to take you hours. It's like you could just place your bet, win or lose, and then be out. So,
Yeah, I'll be playing some poker. Yes, so we'll see. Anyway, that's really going to pay off well. My wife hears this. Anyway, another thing, big news last week, that Celebrity Big Brother. We talked about that, and
we talked about Omarosa's big ass titty hanging out. Where can we go from here?
Well, more. There's actually been more, and I get confused on this because you got to go to CBS All Access, and they have a live feed there 24/7, but then they have a show daily, and it's like it's a little confusing. But trust me on this, because you don't have to worry about it, because we're monitoring these 24-hour feeds, and this season's had like Ron Artest, Chuck Liddell, Omarosa, a bunch of other people I'm forgetting, but so we did the Omarosa, which was, I gotta say, I was really impressed. Like, I had no idea she had boobs that big, and
just that good. I would have never thought Omarosa was cat could be like that.
It was just, I really dug that. That was one of my favorite accidental, if it was accidental, but I think it was, one of my favorite accidental nude scenes of all time. I really dug that. So, in the following days, since we reported on this last Monday, do you know who Brandi Glanville is? You're a Real Housewives watcher. You know who she is, right?
I do. She's from the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. She's Eddie Cibrian's ex-wife.
Formerly.
Huh?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Is she still on? I don't think she's still on Real Housewives, is she?
She will appear on the show, but she's not on the show anymore.
Okay, but I was trying to think of how to tell people how would you know Brandi Glanville, but I think Real Housewives is her big, big thing, and
she's a former,
probably a big reason she's on.
Yeah, she's a former model, but yeah, she became kind of famous for being Eddie Cibrian's wife, who he cheated on with Leanne Rimes. She was like a big tabloid, thing. And then she got on the Real Housewives, and that's how she people were putting a face with the name. And now she's just famous in her own right from all the controversy. And she's wild. Yeah. She's kind of, I would say she has a personality kind of similar to mine, really kind of crude language, doesn't mind getting naked. You know what I'm saying? Just a fun time gal.
Yeah, well, she did. No, that was fun because we actually got another sneak peek of Omarosa's breasts in that damn robe that she won't close, but not as good as the first one. But then they were in a bedroom together, and Brandy Glanville took her top off, and you could see breasts, which was pretty nice. I don't know. It was kind of. I know she's not afraid to get naked, but being that it was CBS and Big Brother, I was kind of surprising. So that was cool to see. But then there was something that was pretty cool that Ariadna Gutierrez had a nip slip basically on Celebrity Big Brother. I think it happened on Saturday. I get confused because these are 24/7 cameras, but I'm pretty sure it happened on Saturday, 2 days ago from when we're taping this podcast. And this is interesting. You probably have no idea who the hell she is, but
I'm like trying to Google her right now.
Well, she was Miss Universe from Colombia in 2015.
Oh,
but she's best known for being mistakenly announced as the winner of Miss Universe 2015 by host Steve Harvey.
Oh, she's that.
Do you remember that? Yes.
Oh, what a way to be known.
I actually think for her that she's probably more famous because that happened to her now. Do you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I really believe that it has people interested in her. But I got to tell you, this was it was Sunday morning. I was doing some work, and my content guy said, "Hey, yesterday, you won't believe this, but there was another nip slip, and it was the girl that was Miss Universe that Steve Harvey screwed up her name." So, like I said, nobody remembers who won it that year, but everyone remembers this girl now that Steve Harvey screwed up the name. So, very cool. And another nude scene. So we've had 3 nude scenes on Celebrity Big Brother, which is fast turning into my favorite new show.
And we're still getting Omarosa wearing that robe that she will just not keep shut, right? So we're seeing
with no bra,
another nip slip from her. So it's like we actually got the full titty slip from her the first time, and now we're getting some nip slips, which is just really crazy, shocking, and nice. But I love it when a Miss Universe has a nip slip because they have to be prim, they have to be proper. There's so much controversy when anyone in these pageants does any sort of nudity or anything, pushing the envelope. They can get kicked out of the whole organization. And here we are seeing some Big Brother titties from Miss Universe. I'm all about it. And it's so funny because I would never watch Big Brother, and it's like, this is why I love you.
You're a reality TV liker. What is it about Big Brother that you don't like compared to like the Bravo shows and stuff?
I feel like these are a little desperate. The only shows I like pretty much are on Bravo, and even and for some reason, it's just because it's that freak factor of like, these women are just so nuts. Whereas I feel like, and I can say this because I've been on the Surreal Life, which is like D-list celebrities living in a house together. Mm-hmm. It's like, I feel like it's just these celebrities trying to just still be on TV. And I just don't care. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't care.
Yeah. From Bravo to Braless is your, yeah.
Yes.
I got you. So,
but don't get me wrong. If Big Brother calls me and offers me like 100,000, of course I'll do it.
You're there.
I might not watch it.
I'd have to get someone to fill in on the podcast, or you could do the podcast from Celebrity Big Brother.
Dude, it would be so great if you and I got on Celebrity Big Brother and just podcasted the whole time.
So would you wear the Omarosa robe if you were on Celebrity Big Brother?
Fuck yeah, because I would want you to be talking about my titties on our podcast.
And you have great cans. I've seen them many times.
Thanks, They're darling. Fantastic. Thanks, darling.
Yeah, anytime. Well, a couple other things before I wrap up. There's a show on...
Oh, what a tease! There we go.
That was funny. All of a sudden, I heard the wheel of skin spinning, and I didn't have the proper intro music. But I guess that means we need to lube the wheel of skin. It was anyway. This is the part of the show where CP, the EP, spins the wheel of skin and asks me. I am Pat. Say jack off. You are.
I am Badger White.
And this is a Merck and Griffin production where he just spins the wheel of skin and asks me any actress that comes up, and I will kind of riff on her skinography and tell you where best to see her nude. We have over, I think we're at 29,000 actresses plus at MrSkin.com. So go ahead, CP, spin the wheel, and I will talk about their nudity.
Okay.
And we have Madeline Stowe.
Oh, well, interesting. Speaking of my wife, that's an interesting one because she gets a lot where people come up to her and say she looks like Madeline Stowe. I don't know if you see that or if you know it, or if you know who Madeline Stowe is. But my wife gets Madeline Stowe a lot. Yeah. Well, she was, there was a TV show called Revenge where she played Victoria from I would probably say, I know it's over now, but the show probably aired for 5 years on ABC, maybe in the last 6-7 years. And she played like an emotionally troubled woman who seeks revenge on those who kind of waged or who wronged her father, let's say. But it was a pretty popular show for a while on ABC. That's probably what she's best known for to audiences. She was also in the movie 12 Monkeys back in 1995 with Brad Pitt and them. But the good news is she's been naked a bunch, probably at least 9 or 10 times.
Really?
I would say a lot of the stuff she did nudity-wise was in the, more like in the early to mid 90s. Revenge is one. There was actually a movie called Revenge in 1990 where she was naked in. Another Unlawful Entry, which was really good. And the one you could spank 12 monkeys to for sure would be China Moon, a movie she did with Ed Harris in 1995. And there's a scene, one of my favorite nude while in a canoe scenes is Madeline Stowe at the 22-minute mark, stripping completely naked, full frontal nudity, diving into the water to go skinny dipping with Ed Harris. And it's probably my favorite Madeline Stowe nude scene, though she's done a bunch. And like I said, she's been naked in 9 or 10 movies.
And I totally looked her up. She is really pretty, and I do see a resemblance to Mrs. Skin. I know who she is.
Okay, good.
Yeah, and they're both beautiful women, so it's a wonderful comparison. I had no idea, and because it's like, why don't I know her when she's done so much nudity? And that's just so crazy. So I'm really kind of glad that CP landed on her because
no, that's a great one. I love it.
Yeah,
and I like when he spins. Like I love when you go back in the 70s, 80s, or 90s to some of those actresses because that's my wheelhouse. I love talking about those. But yeah, I'd say for Madeline Stowe, check out China Moon, and ironically, she shows Poon but no moon, but it's still a great full frontal scene. So when she dives into the water. So great question, CP. But let me get back to my list because I have a couple other just little nudes of note, TV wise. One, do you know the show on Comedy Central, Andrea, called Corporate?
No,
have you heard about this show?
I'm not familiar.
Yeah, it's kind of like an Office Space type show. It's
I like Office Space.
Black comedy. There are 6 episodes in, and I don't really talk about it on the podcast because I haven't had like real nudity. But there was an interesting episode. It airs Wednesday nights, last Wednesday, where an employee there at the office decides to come in shirtless on Casual Friday, and the rest of the office decides to take their shirts off as well in support. So
I love it.
It was just a ton of babes in their bras. And a lot of hot ones. And I remember, so this Anna Akana is the first woman to take her shirt off at the office, and then a bunch of girls. But the reason I bring it up is there was like this Barbara Gray, Paige Weldon, and then Claire O'Kane. So when this came across our chat at Mr. Skin, when our content department went through the movie and they alerted me to the fact this happened, I immediately go, Claire O'Kane, wait a second. Is this the same Claire O'Kane who you will be seeing in my Anatomy Awards coming up for
what?
Best Monster Muff.
Wait, what?
From an Amazon pilot called Budding Prospects. It was about a group of guys in the 80s that were trying to sell weed. And sure enough, it's the same girl. So she's only in her bra in this, but in Budding Prospects, which we have in our at our website, this was amazing. And from what we heard, she wasn't wearing a merkin. And we're very impressed. Yes, we're very impressed. And I'll show you that next week, Andrew, when we do the Anatomy Awards, because you're definitely going to want to check that out.
Wow. I want to see a monster muff.
Yeah, you will, because it's pretty incredible. But yeah, the show's called Corporate. It was just funny because there was a bunch of girls in their bras in a cool episode. But then one of them was Claire O'Kane. If you want to see more of, definitely check her out at MrSkin.com.
Cool.
One other thing, did you read this? I thought this was hilarious. And I don't know if you heard about this, but you know the show Walking Dead on AMC. You're very familiar with it.
Yeah.
So their eighth season's coming up starting soon. And they made an announcement that they're going to have their first nude zombie. Yes, their first nude zombie. Now they didn't say if it was going to be male or female.
It's got to be a female. No one wants to see a zombie dick.
Yeah, right. Zombie dick.
I mean, come on.
Yeah, well, it'll be sometime during the season. I don't know when. Like I said, I don't know male or female. But listen, this is breaking. This is
breaking news.
Yeah, I do remember in Night of the Living Dead seeing some butts on some of the girls, the zombies back in the 60s. But this is, AMC television. And I just thought it was funny that they made an announcement about this. So this redefines stiff, if you will. But yeah, Walking Dead to feature a nude zombie, and we were talking about this. I don't know what you think of this, Andrea, but will it be like prosthetic boobs or, you know what I'm saying? Like, will it be real body parts with zombie shit all around them?
Yeah.
Or are they going to because it'll suck if it's nude, but it's all prosthetic. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I want it to be a nude zombie.
Yeah, I'm sure it's like it'll be the real bodies, I'm assuming, and then they'll just do zombie makeup and applications, melting skin, blood,
which is fine.
Whatever.
All that's cool as long as it's real, because we are not fans of prosthetics. Are pathetic, is what we say here at MrSkin.com. We want real nudity, so I'll keep you posted.
I'm with you, man. I'm with you, and
I'll keep you posted.
I have a feeling they're going to keep it. They're going to keep it real, because there'll be a backlash. You can't make an announcement like that. Oh, we're going to have a nude zombie and then have fake zombie titties. No.
I agree. No. It has to be real. I want to see bouncing zombie titties.
Hell, maybe it's going to be a zombie sex scene.
Well, let's not get carried away.
I know. I'm sorry. Okay. I'm getting a little ahead of myself here.
Yeah. Hey, last but not least, did you hear about this? I don't know if you've been watching any of the Olympics, but there was a real great in HD on primetime television, a great Olympic wardrobe malfunction from this French ice dancer named Gabriella Papadakis, and Papadakis, if you saw this, because she and this guy, I don't even know the guy, they're French, and they're like up there in like battling. I don't watch figure skating, but I guess they're battling, like they're in second place. It's still going on, battling to be to win a gold medal for figure skating team. The guy and the girl do the dance, and I was reading about it. It's funny. She knew. In the article, it's been all over because like Mike Tirico was announcing it, and he even mentioned the malfunction. Because at the end of the dance, she bends over backwards on the guy's arms, and her whole left boob pops out, and it was pretty cool. And then even Mike Tirico mentioned it while it was happening. And then I know at the website for NBC, they mentioned in the title that such and such, this Papadakis and this guy do well despite wardrobe malfunction. So it's all over the news. I know Deadspin did an article on it, so I'm not the first person to saw it. We do have it at MrSkin.com if you want to check it out. But what is weird is that
was she aware of this?
Well, that's the thing. She was saying that she knew like things were moving around, and her outfit was kind of moving, but so much was at stake, because if they could have stopped and fixed it, but they would have got these huge penalties and then obviously been out of the running for the gold medal. So they had to kind of power through. But, back in when I was watching the Olympics in the 70s and stuff, like, we didn't have HD television and couldn't record stuff and couldn't go on the internet and see it. So now you have a nip slip. It's like, check, like,
it lives forever.
Easily accessible replays, high definition, beautiful picture. But yeah, so these things have happened in history, but this one's kind of getting a lot of. Yeah, it's kind of getting a lot of publicity, and
well, she's beautiful. She has a beautiful
she's
boob
gorgeous.
too. Like, I'm staring at this left titty popping out over and over and over, and it's a great boob. It's a great boob.
Yep. Oh, no question. Well, she's an Olympic athlete. Let's face it. There's probably nothing that looks bad underneath. But
right.
Anyway, so I thought this was great. I just wanted to mention it on the podcast. Obviously, we're about TV and movie nudity. Rarely do we venture into sports, but this was a big one, and I wanted to share it with you. But anyway, so that's it for this week. Now, Andrea, next week, This is big, our 19th Annual Anatomy Awards, and I love our list. I truly say this with all sincerity. This is our best list we've ever done. There's just so much stuff right now. For us to be able to curate these wild and crazy scenes is so much fun, and my team here did so much great work helping me to narrow it down to 42 awards plus a Lifetime Skin Achievement Award winner. And anyway, it'll be fun. So next week, when I'm back from Vegas and everything else, we'll be doing the 19th Annual Anatomy Awards.
I've had the honor of just talking to you when you've been doing the Anatomy Awards for so many years. I feel like it's everything. Like, F the Oscars, F the Golden Globes. Like, who gives a shit about any of that? Show me the Anatomy Awards. So I'm super excited, and that's going to be next week. So I think I'll just let everyone know to stay tuned, and it's going to be off the charts, and we'll talk to you then.
You got it. Thanks, Andrea.
Bye, love.
This concludes another scintillating episode of the Mr. Skin Podcast. Subscribe to the Mr. Skin Podcast in iTunes and never miss a show. Thanks for listening.